My name is Jade Sato. I'm the owner-grower of Minoru Farm, and the name Minoru Farm comes from my late grandfather. His name was George Minoru Sato. I grew up in his footsteps, literally following him around our family's flower shop nursery business, and he taught me how to plant things, how to grow things, and so it just felt really organic that I would honor him and that his name would be the name of the farm. I had the distinct misfortune of graduating from college during the 2008-2009 recession. There were no jobs in the field of art for me to even approach having a creative career. And so, as an artist will do, is we will just kind of switch mediums and adapt. And a friend of mine invited me to help her in her garden one day, and I very much thought, well, I want to do this at my house. And then as things progressed, I realized there's not enough room in my backyard to do what I want to do. So the year that my grandfather died was actually the year that I decided to turn to farming as like a potential career shift. I really just wanted to immerse myself into the workload, the practice of farming, the artistry of farming, and I really took my creativity and my creative mind to the world of agriculture. Not having a career in art and then turning to farming, I realized that for me it fulfilled a purpose of everyone needs to eat, everyone has to eat, and so that made it so that I could be fully useful to the utmost capacity for my own life experience and for community. Farmers are choosing to spend their whole lives improving the quality of the soil that they're growing in and seeing how nature responds to gentle, tiny decision-making instead of really drastic, heavy modifications in the farming system. We do practice a lot of the regenerative agriculture techniques, and I know it's like a fun, trendy word right now, but what that really means is that you're just taking your time observing the soil, observing nature around the farm, and understanding how you can gently work with the system instead of just being like, well, I'm a human being, I know better. And it's just kind of removing the human ego out of it and being able to really clearly see the right path forward in how to work with nature. I feel like one of the most important things about farming that I don't hear talked enough about is farmer mental health. It's usually mid-August when mental health starts to wane, and from the leadership all the way down to the field crew, everyone is hot, tired, sore, in certain levels of pain. And then the higher up you go, then with leadership's just constantly worried about money. All of that and plus more combined creates a really fun salad plate of stress that can be an unending pit of depression and isolation and exhaustion. And so it feels like a warm hug when a customer is like, I understand that your price is what you need it to be, but also respecting the food that we are bringing to market and valuing it as well does a perspective change if you go to market as a grumpy farmer and every customer that comes by is like, oh my God, I love what you're doing. It is so cool. I love all the veggies. Here's pictures of what I made this week. I actually brought you some to try. Like interactions like that really help keep feeding the love and appreciation, but also just the like some of the why of why we continue to do this year after year after year, because it's definitely not one of those jobs that it is very clear as to why people do this. The room for error is so extremely small, and trying to pull off bringing produce to market is a bunch of tiny, small miracles. As Samin Nosrat says, all produce is a tiny little miracle. And so if farmers feel that way, that it's a tiny little miracle, then we want the customers to also appreciate that that is a tiny little miracle, that there's anything to eat it off.